Hello, my dear students. Today we will start with fourth topic. In that we will learn partnership firm, merits and demerits. In my last lecture we have studied definition of partnership firm and features. Today, dear students, what is partnership? Partnership is nothing but it is a relation between persons. You all know that to form a partnership firm we need minimum two persons. Clear? So minimum two persons are required and all partners share profits and losses carried on by all or any one of them acting for all. Then we'll start with merits of partnership firm. Number one point is easy formation. Dear students, it is very easy to form partnership business because we need only agreement. Clear? That means agreement is made and the procedure for registration is very simple and quick. Then next we will proceed with capital. Right? Here I can say that the partnership business can have more capital as compared to sole trading concern, because in sole trading we have only one individual owner, but in partnership we can say there are more number of partners, and when the partners will come they will bring their capital. Then next, business secrecy. Here secrecy is maintained because here we are not publishing any accounts annually. Clear? So due to this competitors cannot easily come to know about the secrets and confidential information of the partnership firm. The next we can say continued existence. Continued existence is nothing but continuity. Clear? That means the business can be continued. In sole trading we cannot continue the business. Why? Because there is only one owner. But here the business can be continued because there are many partners in the business. Then next, flexibility of operation. Right? Flexibility is nothing but the changes. Here we can see more flexibility in partnership business. Partners may expand or diversify business activities as and when required. Right? And partners can easily change the line of the business, and even they may close down the business as per the situation. The next we can see decision making. Here the decision making is quick. Why? Because few partners are involved in decision making process. The decisions are taken after detailed discussion among partners, and the quality of decision making is better than sole trading concern. The next we can see effort reward relationship. There is a direct relation between efforts and rewards. Right? That means if partnership agreement provides, active partners may get higher share in profit as compared to other partners in the organization. That means each and every partner puts the best efforts to gain the reward of the partnership firm. The next we can see goodwill. What is goodwill? Goodwill is nothing but value of company's brand name. Right? In partnership we have valuation of partnership business in terms of money. The partnership enjoys good amount of goodwill in the market. Clear? Then normally in case of admission of a new partner has to bring certain amount of goodwill in the business. Then next point is specialization. Specialization is nothing but you all know that uh, in partnership business sub partners may be good at different skills. Right? For example, some partners may be good in finance, some may be good in technology, marketing, etc. So here specialization brings higher efficiency in the organization. That means the partners who are expert in which field they will decide and they will continue with that work. This will ultimately create a good impression of the partnership firm. Then later on we will discuss demerits of partnership firm. Right? What are the disadvantage of partnership firm? Number one point we can see problem of continuity. That means here we can say that there is a problem of continuation in partnership firm. How? First of all, there are many reasons. You can say reason of death, insolvency or insanity. Insanity is nothing but the mental illness of any partner in the partnership firm. This will ultimately stop the firm to continue. Then if partnership agreement does not have provision of continuation of partnership business in case of death, insolvency and insanity, then ultimately the partnership business will be dissolved. Clear? Then number 2 point, we can see absence of legal status, right? Absence of legal status, that means there is no separate legal existence of partnership firm. That means there is not separate laws made for partners and for the firm, right? In the eyes of law, both are same. Clear? Then next is disputes. Disputes means fights, right? It is very obvious that in partnership business, not one individuals are involved. There are many partners involved in partnership firm. Clear? So some partners may or may not agree on some points, so ultimately this will create disputes among partners, right? Sometimes disputes may lead to dissolution of the partnership firm. The next point we can see non-transferability of interest, right? That means no partner of business can transfer his share in business to outsider without the consent of all partners in the firm. That means every partners have to consent with each other. Without consent, they will have to face problem in the partnership firm. Then next we can say limitation on number of partners, right? Limitations, there are restrictions on number of members. Here I can say that minimum 2 members are required to form partnership firm, and maximum there is limit of 50 partners, not beyond that. That means minimum 2 and maximum 50 partners can be admitted in a partnership firm, not beyond that. So that is why your restriction is there. The next point is difficulty in admission of partner, right? Difficulty in admission of a partner, that means admission of a new partner may affect profit sharing ratio of existing partners, right? You all know that whenever agreement is made, then all the partners name is entered along with the profit sharing ratio. But sometimes if new partner is admitted, then in this case the existing partners may not have full faith of incoming partner, and ultimately this will leads to difficulty in admission of new partner. The next point we will see unlimited liability, right? Unlimited liability arises when the assets of the firm are not sufficient to pay off claims of the creditors. You all know the meaning of unlimited liability. Unlimited liability is nothing but your private property is affected. Clear? The next 8th point, risk of implied authority, right? Implied authority is what? Sometimes partners may take advantage of managing business on behalf of other, which leads to risk of implied authority, right? For example, sometimes the partners may sign agreement in his own capacity for his or her benefit, right? Which is against the partnership firm, right? He may take loan or advances without the consent of other partners. So ultimately this is what? Risk of implied authority. The next point we can say limited capital, right? Limited capital. Comparing to sole trading concern, partnership have a good amount of capital. But if I'm comparing with joint stock company, so joint stock company obviously have more amount of capital as compared to partnership firm. Why? Because number of members. Here there is restriction on number of members. Minimum 2 and 50 members are admitted, not beyond that. So that is why here the capital is less as compared to joint stock company. The next we can see 10th point, problem of secrecy, right? Here problem of secrecy is there. Why? Because why this happens? Though books of accounts and financial matters relating to business are not required, we are not publishing any books of accounts, right, annually. But some partners may share confidential information of business to competitors, to the third party, right? So ultimately this is what? There is problem of secrecy. So dear students, we have completed partnership definition, merits and demerits. In my next lecture we will come with a new concept. Thank you.